Steven Spielberg's brutal reaction when watching Star Wars for first time with George Lucas. Back in '77, the original Star Wars flick blasted its way to monumental success, raking in over $775 million on a shoestring budget of just $11 million, briefly reigning as the top-grossing film ever. The saga's allure hasn't waned a bit, but the making of that first iconic movie was pure torture for George Lucas, peppered with countless moments of doubt about its completion. Lucas opened up about his ordeal in a fresh chat for the industrial light and magic visual effects company docuseries, Light and Magic, streaming on Disney+. The crew he'd roped in for the visual effects were lagging big time, and he'd already wrapped up shooting in England. The mastermind behind Star Wars confessed, "I was very frustrated editing without effects. What did I get myself into? How am I ever going to get this done?" Paul Hirsch, the fourth editor to tackle the film, revealed, "Even I, who worked on the film, could barely follow the story. It was much rougher than rough cuts usually are. In a bid to find some clarity, Lucas sought the insights of his director pals like Brian De Palma, Martin Scorsese, and Steven Spielberg. In the latest documentary, an insider shared their first impressions of the early version of Star Wars. "I saw Star Wars for the first time in rough cut. The film was, to say it was not finished is a kindness. He didn't have the effects yet. There was a great deal of debate about context because there are only a couple of effects shots in there. Where are we? Who are we? Who are they? Do we need they? What is this? Menagerie of imagination, George, that you've invited us to see and tear apart." Steven Spielberg weighed in on his initial viewing experience. "Half the film was just literally like watching a documentary from World War II, because that's all George had. Me and Alan Ladd Jr., the head of Fox, we were probably the only people in that room that loved the movie in the condition it was in,